3 years ago, connecting an AI to your database meant one engineer, one afternoon, and 100 lines of glue code that broke the second the API changed. Today, there are 3 protocols with capital letters fighting to be the standard for it, and a stack of blog posts telling you to pick one. Here's the thing nobody says in the title. REST versus MCP versus A2A is a fake fight. It's like asking whether you should use roads, or phones, or employees. They're not competing. They're stacked on top of each other, and the only reason it looks like a cage match is that all 3 got hot in the same 18 months. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what each one is. The one sentence that tells them apart forever, and why the verses in that title is quietly wrong. Let me give you the analogy we're going to live in for the next 10 minutes, because it makes all 3 click at once. Think of an AI agent as a new hire at a company, a smart new hire, knows a ton reasons well. But on day 1, they know nothing about your company. They can't open your filing cabinets. They don't know who does what. They can't send mail. Every protocol on this list is solving one specific part of turning that clueless but brilliant new hire into someone who actually gets work done. That's it. Hold that picture. Start with REST, because REST is the oldest and the most boring, and boring is the point. REST is the postal system. It's how any 2 computers on the internet have talked to each other for 20 years. You send a request to an address, you get a response back, done. When your weather app fetches the forecast, that's REST. When you log into your bank, REST. It is the roads and the mail trucks of the entire internet, and it long predates AI. Nothing about REST knows or cares that there's a language model involved. You hand it an address and a message. It delivers. That's the whole job. So here's the naive first move, the thing everyone tried first. You've got your brilliant new hire, and you want them to check inventory. Inventory lives behind a REST API. So you, the engineer, write custom code. When the AI wants inventory, translate that into the exact REST request the inventory system expects. Send it, catch the response, translate it back into something the AI understands. Works great. Then you want the AI to also check the calendar. Different API, different code, and email, and the CRM, and Slack. And now you feel it. Every new tool is a new handwritten translator. 10 tools, 10 translators. And when you get a second AI model, a second agent, you write all 10 again for that one, because your glue was custom to the first. This is the M times N problem. M different models, N different tools, and you're on the hook for every single wire between them. That's the mess MCP walked into. MCP, Model Context Protocol, came out of Anthropic in November 2024, built by 2 engineers named David Soryapara and Justin Spar-Summers. And the idea is beautifully narrow. Stop writing a custom translator for every tool. Instead, agree on one standard shape for here's a tool, here's what it does, here's how to call it. A tool that speaks MCP can be plugged into any agent that speaks MCP. No custom glue. Back to the office. MCP is the standardized onboarding kit for your new hire. Instead of you personally walking them to every cabinet and explaining every machine, each tool shows up with a little printed card. Here's what I do, here's which buttons I take, here's what comes out. The new hire reads the card and just uses the tool. And critically, any new hire can read any card. You write the card once, every agent can use it. That's MCP's magic trick. It turned M times N back into M plus N. Under the hood, it's not exotic, and that matters. MCP rides on JSON RPC 2.0, a decades-old, dead simple way of saying, call this function with these arguments, here's the result. It runs either over standard input-output for a tool on your own machine or over HTTP for a remote one. So MCP isn't a rival to REST. Half the time an MCP server is literally a thin wrapper that turns around and makes REST calls to the real system behind it. MCP is the standardized card on the front. REST is still the mail truck out the back. And the market voted fast. Within a year, tens of thousands of MCP servers, tens of millions of downloads a month, and OpenAI, Microsoft, and Google all adopting the thing Anthropic shipped. By December 2025, Anthropic had handed it to a Linux Foundation fund, so it wasn't one company's toy anymore. So MCP connects your agent to tools, which leaves the last gap, and it's the one people conflate the most. What happens when your new hire needs another person? Because some jobs aren't use a tool. Some jobs are hand this off to the specialist down the hall who has their own tools, their own judgment, and who I shouldn't have to micromanage. Your generalist agent shouldn't have to know how the legal review agent does its job. It should just walk over, describe the task, and let the specialist run. That's A2A. Agent to Agent from Google launched April 9th, 2025. Where MCP is agent to tools, A2A is agent to agents. It's the org chart and the internal phone system. And its clever bit is discovery. Every A2A agent publishes an agent card, a little file sitting at a known address, /well-known/agent card, that says, here's who I am, here are my skills, here's how to reach me, here's how you prove you're allowed to. It's the company directory. Your new hire doesn't need to already know the legal team exists. They look up the card, find the specialist, and delegate. Over, yes, the same humble JSON RPC and HTTP the others use. Google donated A2A to the Linux Foundation in June 2025, and it's pulled in 150 plus organizations since. Now, the turn. Because if you've been counting, all three of these run on the same plumbing, and that should make you suspicious of anyone selling them as a war. Here's the honest state of it. A2A got a wave of hype, and then a wave of doubt. By September 2025, there were real write-ups arguing it had stalled, that the ecosystem had basically consolidated around MCP, and agent to agent was a solution shopping for a problem, because most people's multi-agent system was one agent and a pile of tools. That criticism was fair at the time. The more recent picture, into 2026, looks healthier. Big enterprise backers, native support in the major clouds. But I'm not going to sell you A2A as essential when a lot of teams genuinely don't need it yet. If you have one agent using many tools, you need MCP, and you can ignore A2A completely. A2A earns its keep the day you have multiple independent agents from different vendors that have to coordinate, not before. And notice who's selling what. Anthropic shipped MCP, and it became the default. Google shipped A2A and is pushing the agent-to-agent future hard. Both donated their protocol to a neutral foundation, which is the polite modern way of saying, please let this be the standard, and please don't make it look like ours. Read the standard, not the press release. So here's the one sentence that sorts all three forever. REST connects programs to programs. MCP connects an agent to its tools. A2A connects an agent to other agents. Roads, toolkits, coworkers. They stack. What this means for you? In order. If you're wiring an AI to some system today, you're using REST underneath, no matter what. That's not a choice. That's the ground. If you want that AI to use tools without handwriting a translator for each one, you learn MCP. And honestly, that's where 90% of people should stop for now. And only when you've got multiple real agents that need to hand work to each other do you reach for A2A, and on that day, you'll know, because the pain will be specific, which is the tell for this entire category. You don't pick the protocol because a title told you to. You pick it because you felt the exact ache it was built to cure, the 10th handwritten translator, or the first time one agent needed another. If this made the stack finally sit still in your head, subscribe, because the whole channel is this, the why underneath the acronyms. That new hire on day one, the brilliant one who couldn't open a filing cabinet, REST gave them the mailroom. MCP gave them the keys. A2A gave them colleagues. None of it replaced the last. That's not three products fighting. That's a company being built, one layer at a time. See you in the next one.